lying to coaches to letting your teammates down, these are the most awkward moments in NFL history. After executing a ridiculous series of laterals in a play remembered as the River City Relay, the Saints miraculously scored a touchdown to tie the game in the dying seconds against the Jaguars. Wait, not quite. In an incredibly awkward moment, the Saints kicker John Carney missed the crucial kick wide right, resulting in a failed conversion and a 1-point loss. Speaking of 1-point losses, we can't forget this haunting moment. In a playoff game against the Seahawks in 2007, Tony Romo, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, experienced a cringeworthy moment that he would likely never forget. The Cowboys were just a field goal away from advancing to the next round of the playoffs, but Romo failed to catch the snap as kicker Martin Gramatica attempted the kick. Romo took off for the end zone before getting tackled short of the line, leaving the Cowboys with a devastatingly close scoreline of 21-20. And Romo still has nightmares about the awkward moment today. Say what you want about Romo's drop, the guy had an amazing career, unlike this next player. Initially believed to be a promising quarterback, first overall pick Jamarcus Russell proved to be anything but. His notorious lack of motivation became a defining trait. Already suspicious, a coach tested him by giving him a blank DVD to study. Russell came back to the coach and said he agreed with everything on the DVD. Talk about awkward. Adding to the embarrassment, Russell showed up to training camp 30 pounds overweight. Unsurprisingly, his performance on the field mirrored his lackluster work ethic. In just 25 starts, Russell turned the ball over a staggering 48 times and suffered defeat in 18 of those games. The Raiders' hopes of finding a franchise quarterback were shattered as Russell became one of the biggest blunders in draft history. Yikes, you lose a whole season's worth of games to earn a chance to pay this guy millions of dollars. That's just awful. Next is an awkward moment when a player missed an opportunity to become a Super Bowl legend. Super Bowl III witnessed an awkward moment with the Baltimore Colts attempting a potentially brilliant play known as a flea flicker. Quarterback Earl Morrall handed the ball off to Tom Matt, who then lateraled it back to Morrall. The play fooled their opposition, and to the delight of his teammates, Jimmy Orr found himself wide open ready for a pass. However, to everyone's surprise, Morrall failed to see Orr and instead attempted another throw. Unfortunately, the pass was intercepted by Jim Hudson of the New York Jets, leading to the Jets' historic 16-7 victory. If you're feeling sick about that last missed opportunity, just check out what Roger Craig managed to do at number 16. The San Francisco 49ers' quest for a historic third consecutive Super Bowl victory was destroyed when one player screwed it up for the entire team. Having showcased their dominance against the Washington Redskins, the 49ers had only the New York Giants standing in their way. However, fate had other plans. With just over 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, San Francisco held a slim 13-12 lead. But then, Roger Craig fumbled the ball behind the line of scrimmage, leading to a turnover, and the Giants countered with a game-winning touchdown. Yikes! You hate to see when one player blows it for the rest of his team like that. But we also hate when you watch our videos and don't subscribe to our channel. So just do it! Hit the like and subscribe button, or we'll go undercover and bust you, like Eugene Robinson. Super Bowl 32 was a week that Eugene Robinson wishes the whole world could forget. The Atlanta Falcons were set to face the Denver Broncos in the championship game. Robinson, who had an outstanding season, was expected to shine on football's biggest stage. However, the night before the game, Robinson made the boneheaded decision to solicit a prostitute. Unbeknownst to Robinson, the person he approached turned out to be an undercover police officer. Despite being released, the incident cast a shadow over his performance in the Super Bowl. Throughout the game, Robinson struggled and performed poorly, and the Broncos ended up winning the Super Bowl while Robinson became a laughingstock. That cop completely fooled Eugene. He had no clue what was coming. Too bad the Colts in 2015 weren't quite as deceptive. This particular moment in 2015 between the Colts and Patriots had its fair share of excitement, but it also gave birth to one of the most cringeworthy plays ever seen in the NFL. In the third quarter, with the Colts trailing, they attempted a botched fake punt. In a perplexing decision, 9 Colts players lined up in a swing gate formation, leaving their safety and wide receiver to handle snapping and quarterbacking duties. Despite facing 5 Patriot defenders and needing 3 yards, they went ahead with the play. And as expected, poor little Griff Whalen got mauled by a slew of Patriot defenders all at once, making it one of the most painfully awkward play calls in NFL history. When a role player makes a mistake, you feel horrible for him. But when a superstar makes a mistake, he gets absolutely torn apart by the media. And that's exactly what happened to Brett Favre after this numbskull play he attempted at number 13. Brett Favre, an iconic quarterback known for his time with the Green Bay Packers, found himself in a high-stakes playoff game with the Minnesota Vikings against the New Orleans Saints. Coming off an exceptional season, Favre appeared poised to lead the Vikings to their first Super Bowl appearance in 3 decades. However, with the game tied and less than 30 seconds remaining, the Vikings positioned themselves within field goal range for a potential game-winning kick. Instead of attempting a long 54-yard field goal, Favre threw one of the most ridiculous-looking passes we've ever seen. He launched it across his body and into the middle of the field where it got intercepted. His teammates were looking at him awkwardly thinking, "What the hell was that, Brett?" And the Saints ended up winning the game in overtime. Sometimes you can blame the quarterback for a bad pass, but you can't blame the QB for this next cringy moment. Jackie Smith's drop in Super Bowl 13 remains one of the worst blunders in NFL history. With less than 5 minutes left in the third quarter and the Cowboys trailing 21-14, the team was driving towards the end zone. Quarterback Roger Staubach found Smith, the backup tight end, open for an easy touchdown, but Jackie Smith dropped the pass. Whoops! Sorry, guys. Instead of a touchdown, the Cowboys had to settle for a field goal and ultimately lost the game. Drops are one thing, but this next player wished he could just disappear after making himself famous at number 11. In 2012, a moment of pure awkwardness unfolded in NFL history during a game between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. The Jets were being dominated by the Patriots, and one play perfectly encapsulated the Jets' disastrous performance, the infamous butt fumble. Mark Sanchez, the Jets' incompetent quarterback, attempted to hand the ball to his running back but ran right into the big ol' rear end of his own offensive lineman, resulting in a fumble. The Patriots swiftly capitalized and scored. The final score was a humiliating 49-19 victory for the Patriots. Sanchez was bad, there's no denying that, but he was just one of many people that failed miserably in the Jets organization. Like this next coach. During Peyton Manning's tenure in Denver, he formed a strong bond with QB coach Adam Gase, crediting him with revitalizing his career. When Gase pursued the head coach position with the New York Jets, he asked for Manning to put in a good word for him. Impressed by the legendary Peyton Manning's endorsement, the Jets hired Gase. Unfortunately, Gase proved to be a flat-out horrendous coach for the Jets. And Peyton was left with that awkward feeling you have when you get your buddy a job and he totally lets you down. Can you really blame Manning for that one? He was one of the greatest players of all time, and the man drafted right after him was one of the worst. Ryan Leaf was another quarterback expected to achieve greatness who fell drastically short. In the 1998 draft, the San Diego Chargers, unable to secure Peyton Manning, selected Leaf, who was basically on par with Peyton Manning coming into the draft. But right from the get-go, Leaf's performance was disastrous. He lost 8 of his 9 starts and made only 4 more appearances for San Diego. Throughout the season, he threw a staggering 15 interceptions while managing a mere 2 touchdowns. While every team experiences regrettable draft picks, Leaf's career stands as one of the most cringeworthy of all time. Some of these awkward moments just make you want to hide. But at number 8, we have a player who literally tried to do that on the field. And spoiler alert, it didn't work. The New York Jets attempted a trick play involving their iconic green uniforms. In 2014, during an AFC East divisional game against the Buffalo Bills, the Jets made a questionable decision. After the Bills kicked a field goal in the third quarter, the Jets tried to outsmart their opponents with a sneaky tactic. TJ Graham laid down in the end zone, hoping to blend in and go unnoticed by the Bills players. However, with Graham wearing a white helmet and white sleeves, his camouflage was far from effective. Ultimately, the play failed and the special teams coach had to watch the replays through the cracks between his fingers the ensuing week. Tricks and fakes either make you look like a genius or a complete idiot, and the next player was the latter. The Cowboys were enduring one of their worst seasons in history. And with just 12 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter on a crucial 4th and 10 situation, Coach Mike McCarthy ran a fake punt play that was so obvious, it made the Cowboys look like a bunch of dinglebrains. Washington's defense quickly sniffed out the fake punt and scored on the next play. To compound the embarrassment, Washington racked up 21 points before Dallas could even comprehend what had transpired. Sometimes you just watch a play and have to shake your head. Here comes one of those incidents. The memory of Trey Junkin's botched snap still haunts Giants fans to this day. The guy had probably the easiest job on the football field. All he had to do was snap the ball. At the age of 41, Junkin had recently joined the Giants, making his debut in a crucial game. But he sure messed that up during the Giants' playoff match against the San Francisco 49ers. After the Giants squandered a 38-14 lead, allowing the 49ers to score 25 unanswered points, they had an opportunity for redemption through a field goal attempt. But good old Trey Junkin's brain-dead snap derailed their chances and led to their defeat. Speaking of brain dead, this guy literally put himself in a hospital by acting like a jackass. This next moment started with Aaron Rodgers and his popular discount double-check dance. Stephen Tulla, a Detroit Lions player, decided to mock Rodgers by imitating the dance after successfully sacking him. But he got his karma immediately. Tulla's knee buckled during the celebration, causing him to collapse on the field in agony. The injury turned out to be a torn ACL, forcing Tulla to be sidelined for months and placed on the Lions' injury list. Some of these moments are truly unfortunate. I mean, these guys work so hard to play at this level only for their worst mistakes to get magnified. And unfortunately for Thurman Thomas, he made his worst mistake in the Super Bowl. During Super Bowl 26 in 1991, the Buffalo Bills faced the Washington Redskins. Thurman Thomas, who had an outstanding season for the Bills, found himself on the sidelines for the first 2 plays of Buffalo's opening drive. The reason? Thomas couldn't locate his helmet, preventing him from entering the game. It turns out that one of his teammates had mistakenly picked up Thomas's helmet but quickly realized the error and set it down. After a frantic search, Thomas finally retrieved his helmet and managed to join the game on the 3rd play. Talk about chaos! Of all games to misplace your helmet, it had to be the Super Bowl. Someone had to do some serious explaining to justify that incredibly awkward moment. That's just inexcusable. You've got to give your players a chance to win you the game. Well, not in this next moment. If you are wondering why Aaron Rodgers left the Packers, let me point you in the direction of this awkward moment. In a crucial playoff game, Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, made a decision that would haunt him. Trailing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 8 points, LaFleur opted to take the ball away from Aaron Rodgers to kick a field goal on 4th and goal from the 8-yard line with just over 2 minutes left on the clock. Although the Packers scored, this choice actually diminished their chances of winning as Tom Brady and the Buccaneers offense held on to the ball and ran out the clock to win the game. He was like, "Thanks, Matt." The aftermath of this decision had ripple effects, straining LaFleur's relationship with star quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Despite Rodgers' MVP-worthy season, the disappointment on his face was evident as his coach seemingly took the game out of his hands, leaving viewers shaking their heads in disbelief. I don't even blame Aaron Rodgers for being angry about that one. And I bet Marshawn Lynch was even more furious after his coach refused to give him the damn football. During the 49th edition of the Super Bowl, an awkward moment unfolded that cost the Seattle Seahawks back-to-back wins and the championship title. With the Seahawks on the 1-yard line, all they had to do was hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch to win the Super Bowl. I mean, if he failed, he could have just tried again. Instead, Wilson attempted a pass to his wide receiver Ricardo Lockett, but it was intercepted by Patriots quarterback Malcolm Butler. This interception granted the New England Patriots their 4th victory during the Brady-Belichick era. And Pete Carroll had to deal with some incredibly awkward press conferences to explain his awful play call. Crazy how the whole season can come down to one defining moment. Never mind season, some of these guys' careers come down to one moment where they either perform or fail miserably, leading us to one of the most famous blunders we've ever seen in the NFL. Last but not least, Scott Norwood's missed field goal in Super Bowl 25, famously known as wide right, was an incredibly awkward and devastating moment. With the Buffalo Bills trailing the New York Giants by a single point, Norwood had the chance to secure victory with a field goal attempt. The conditions were favorable and the stage was set for him to become a hero. However, the pressure proved too much and Norwood's kick sailed wide right, resulting in a heartbreaking miss. This moment marked the beginning of the Bills' unprecedented run of 4 consecutive Super Bowl losses. Understandably, Norwood faced immense scrutiny and criticism following the miss. It was so bad he chose to retire early and retreat from the public eye, seeking solace from the weight of that moment. There you have it! Those were the most awkward moments in NFL history. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out the video currently up on your screen if you want to keep watching our great NFL-related content.